Hi, I'm Dashiell Harrison. I'm with Indes Ferox Gladio in Portland, Oregon.
Gotcha. You were in a couple of tournaments this year. Could you explain which tournaments you're in?
Here at Combatcon?
Yes.
So I competed in Saber yesterday. I'm doing sword and buckler today, and tomorrow I'm doing experience longsword and the Tournament of Champions.
Gotcha. A good amount to do then.
Yeah.
Are you coaching today?
I might be. I don't know. We'll see if anyone needs a corner.
Gotcha. Could you describe what sources you like to study out of those 4 weapons?
Yeah, so my top 3 favorite sources are manuscript 3227A, which is a Lichtenauer gloss, Andre Lignitzer's Sword and Buckler, and I've recently gotten into George Silver.
Gotcha. I'm a fan of the George Silver manual. Or manual.
Yeah.
But now, so the last tournament you fought was the Saber tournament. How did you feel about that tournament? Who do you think was going to win, besides yourself, of course? Let's just start with that.
It went great. I had a good time. I ended up going up against my friend Jastinder Singh, who is a highly accomplished saberer, so he knocked me out in the quarterfinals. But other than that, I felt really pretty good about how I did. I haven't fenced a whole lot of saber in the last few years. I've gotten kind of really into it in the last couple of weeks, basically. So I was pleased with how my command of the system I'm working from went, given that fairly brief period of time to familiarize myself with that.
Yeah, for sure. Especially against Justin, there's definitely not a bad person to lose to.
Not at all, no.
So I know we know that kind of what you're working out of, but could you describe your personal style as well in Saber?
Yeah, that's tricky. So first off, I'm left-handed, but I decided to fence right-handed this weekend for Saber specifically. I've been dealing with some tendon issues, and so I wanted to spread the load out. So I'm fencing sword and buckler left-handed and longsword left-handed. Wanted to give my left arm a little bit of a break going into it, so I fenced righty. So that already my personal style was being changed up quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think I ended up relying pretty heavily on strikes to the legs. People just aren't super good at defending those, I think. And George Silver is a highly defensive style, which I'm generally pretty aggressive as a fencer. But in the past, I've had issues with lots of double hits, and so I wanted to try and do something that would be just really go out of my way to avoid exposing myself to being hit whenever possible. And that went pretty well. I had only one double the whole tournament.
Yeah, and definitely a leg hit where you don't get hit is way better than you hitting their head and you also get hit in the head.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I also noticed in the Saber tournament that it was mostly because of how top dominant people were. They really wanted to defend the top more so than their bottom. Did you kind of get that same impression?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few things going on, right? Your eyes are up here, so
Yeah.
You're seeing things coming in at your head a lot more, a lot better. And your hands are up here, so they're also, lined up to protect your head. So I had a lot of success with basically closing and under guard up here. People would cut to my head, parry the cut to the head, cut to the leg, come back up the front of the head.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's kind of what I did as well in the same tournament. So for sword and buckler and longsword, I know you're formidable in every weapon you do, right?
That's very kind of you.
But how do you feel about those upcoming tournaments? Any feelings, and also any fighters you'd really like to fight, or any fighters that are your favorites for that tournament?
I'm feeling pretty good about both. Let's see. People I want to fight. Gosh, everyone. The whole roster was I was like a kid in a candy store looking at who all was going to be there.
Yeah.
I was excited to fight everyone. Hopefully, some people I haven't fought before. I've been in the tournament circuit in the west of the United States and Canada for, almost 10 years now. So, not 10 years yet. But
I remember once I started my journey, I watched a video with you, one of your medal matches.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah,
so maybe 6 years, I think, in competing in this area. So, and I love fighting, my friends and getting to fight them again. But I'm excited. It looks like there's a lot of new blood on the rosters this year, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, and just the tournaments we did yesterday, I think more than 90% of those fencers were new people.
Yeah, I think Jastinder was the only person that I knew at all that I fought out of 6 fights, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice, really very nice. Any favorite fighters do you think that are going to win besides yourself?
Oh, that's tricky. Jack Stewart's very good. I expect to see great things out of him. I'm trying to think who else. Jonathan Ng, always got very good odds going with him.
I have to fight him later, so.
Oh, okay. And Jason Smith, my boy out of Oregon. I think he'll do really well.
Jason Smith was on fire.
Yeah, he was. Really yeah.
He kind of underperformed in one tournament, but in Rapier and Dagger, he was crazy.
Yeah,
He did so
yeah. He's a very skilled rapierist. Yeah.
So I know it's only been one day, but there's any highlights that you had in this competition so far?
Oh, that's tricky. Well, yeah, actually went out for pizza and drinks with Michael Chittister and Kendra Brown, and that was really cool, getting to talk to them, and they're both very knowledgeable, very interesting people, so I'd say that was a highlight so far.
Nice, yeah. Any last comments before we finish this interview up?
Just this is a great event. This is my 4th time coming out here, and it always feels like a family reunion, so I'm really happy to be here.
All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Dash.
All right, thank you.